the world is more violent in this 2025. In 36 countries, 61 conflicts. The organizations are registering this data. 36 countries, 61 conflicts, 2025 the most violent year. And the wars are impacting in the economies. I'm speaking about military wars, not just the economic war. When we are going through the exchange issue, how many countries have diverse ways of exchanging money? At least 18, and those 18 are under siege of US. This is an economic war. The economy as an instrument of war to affect countries, and even those countries. I'm going to speak about a group of bloc of countries like the European Union. They put their tariffs in spite of what they said that they were going to buy more gas, oil, armaments, warplanes. They were imposed tariffs on. The economic war is becoming the key instrument of the aggression of the United States of America. The economic war as a policy, as a foreign policy, and a policy to attack other countries. And also we're going to speak about economy and macroeconomy to supply its. If it weren't for wars, they would be drowning in their fiscal deficit, and this aggression to attack. Today, Venezuela is a victim of a psychological war without precedents that seeks to create uncertainty in the economy as well. So it is important for us to meet, to have this discussion, to also make a balance. If something has characterized, I was going through some papers, product by product, sector by sector, and the good news is that there is no sector that is decreasing. All of them are growing. All of our economy sectors are growing, of our national economy, are on the rise. It is truly impressive. If you can go through these 17 semesters of growth and sector by sector, recovery of the oil production. We have a growing oil production, and also gas, also petrochemicals. We are reporting growth, and it is important because the motor of hydrocarbons is essential motor of our economy, that we are on the move and the making of keep boosting it, along with other motors that are accompanying the hydrocarbon sector, so we can have a diversified economy, not depending on motor, but as well can report a major growth in all the sectors we have material capacities for. There is a recovery in the basic industries, and iron shows growth, an extraordinary growth. Look how it is projected now for the close of 2025, even surpassing years in which there was no economic aggression. It is important to mention because it proves the effort, the national effort, focused in the recovery, in the economic recovery. We have recovery and growth in the gold production, in the private sector and in the public sector. We have a major growth in the public sector with a 158%, and in the private sector in a 52%. But we have a growth in the gold production that now, with this international context of violent conflicts, it is an extraordinary commodity to revalue Venezuela. And Venezuela has the biggest reservoirs of gold. We have also coal production, a growth production of coal. We have juvenile. I'm going to food. I'm going to mention just a few. Chicken, 14%. Pig, 4%. Buffalo milk, 3%. Cow milk, 3%. Eggs, 2%. Cereals, 60%. Fruits, 51%. 6%. Vegetables, 63%. Fruits and vegetables, 52%. Also, production, production, 3%. If you can also mention the sea products is our biggest export product. I take this opportunity to say hi, to greet the Minister of Tourism, Food, Industries, of Transport, of Households that are here with us today, Vice Ministers of Youth, that is President of the working, also the President of the Economic Institute and Vice Ministers of Hydrocarbons as well, and Vice President of PDVS, a pure youth here. Pure youth. Here we are. This is the future forming itself in a strategic field, in a compact team, in an economic team. Accompany President Nicolás Maduro in his decisions, his articulations, his policy, for all of us to move forward together. In the sector of drugs, of medicines, we have reported 27.32% in this sector, guaranteeing the basic food and medicines. Food and medicines. Another sector in plain growth, and it's very important, as I mentioned earlier, Felipe was president of this sector. Commerce is like the thermometer of the daily thermometer of the country. Where I'm going to check my temperature is the same here. It is a sector that is also growing in the third trimester, grow by 7% in comparison with the first one. 1,082 new products, 7% more than in the same period of 2024. 1,085 new products. What does this mean? National production in its great majority, because the 90% of the products that are there are of national production. And, well, something extraordinary, we report an increase of 20% in the transactions, commercial transactions. We are growing with our own effort, our own creativity. You know, the President called us, all of us, for the creation of the binational zones, Colombia, Venezuela. That is an extraordinary opportunity for what you mentioned, Felipe, to be competitive, and for us to revert processes in which we have a commercial deficit. There we have good news. We will have good news with Colombia that is going to help us to shift the path. We have had historically a deficit in commerce with Colombia, but we are going to reverse this. So the binational zone also has a sense for the productive sectors of the nation. This is an invitation for you to boost further the productive mechanism in the country. In tourism, this year, compared with the same period of 2024, we have reported a 70% of growth of foreign visitors in the country. And the social tourism, when we see this aspect, which is very important, we report an increase of over 500% in comparison with last year. This is the secret weapon of the national economy to receive strong currency. Should be a mechanism for the entrance in the country of heavy currency, which is the strategic objective of those adversaries that try to impede this currency to enter the nation. The U.S. believes we are their enemy, but that was centuries ago when they decided that Bolivar was their enemy. for being the force, the strength, the opposite strength to expansion, territorial expansionism of Monroe. Well, a data that is really, I'm going to stop in this one, that is the last 8 years of the tariffs protection. Do you believe when we started in 2018, we began with an effective data of tariffs of 23%. Today it is on 14.7, but when you see the protective tariff of ordinary products is of 35 points. We came from nothing. Venezuelan productive sector in a process. President Maduro has accompanied the national sectors to favor, to benefit the Venezuelan products in relation to the products that are entering the country. This is a tariff rate that grew by 48% in 2025. We did so to protect the national production in the face of terminated products. We have plain knowledge through this Council of Economy. In this decree, something was missing and something that was left because we have thousands of issues. So David knows what I'm speaking about, and we are listening to the productive sectors of the nation. So you really have the capacity to produce. So yes. Do you know how to do this? Yes. Well, let's do so. Let's go together and end this. And we boosted this policy with the tariff of production this is key to know the production of our industrial zones, how we are accompanying the national production. So when we're speaking about the effective protection to the national industry, means that it's not, for example, the terminated products are at a 35 points, the raw materials 9.8 points, and TPA effective is 14.7%. It is points. It is a concrete policy to accompany the productive sectors. Regarding the credits that President, the Chamber Chief, the credits also came. It was not known before this effective tariff of financing on 2016. There you see it, the equivalent of $2,509 that has grown in 16% in the past 12 months and is almost comparable to 2016. Here, the bench is here and knows what I'm speaking about, because we have had to take actions, joint actions, to have the balance we need. And another aspect that has to do with new mechanisms that we are implementing permanently, non-traditional mechanisms in the gestion of the exchange rate, of one, but we are there permanently. And the important issue is the Economic National Council to close this year. As I said at the beginning, we are in a period of imports. There is a page that I wanted to show you that is very important, and I can't find it. It has to do with the reduction of imports in sectors that were signaled and pointed at as a strategic. I don't know if you can put this on your screens, because it is very important. Here it is. Through the policy of substitution of imports, look how we have reduced this data. This is 2025, okay? We reduced 96% of imports in sugar. But what does this meaning? This doesn't mean that we have no sugar, but means that it is accompanied by the national production, and we are also capturing national production and activating the productive sectors as well. And with production also comes with a reduction of imports. That is the real virtuous cycle: investment, production, and saving of of U.S. currency. The rice, we have reduced the rice in a 72% in its imports. In corn, less than 72%. White corn, less than 20%. And soy, also 20%, accompanied by policy of plain. You know what I'm speaking about. Today, Venezuela has its own. We have been defeating all of the forms, expressions, our enemies, external enemies, and inside and outside, because we have an extremism, political extremism that is asking for aggressions, and now they are asking for ships, for warships. We have an inside enemy, and that is why. And I'm very thankful because you assisted on Friday to the cycle of the elliptic salon of the National Assembly with a special session with President Nicolás Maduro. And what did Nicolás Maduro ask? Let's join all of our wills to defend Venezuela from any kind of aggression. It doesn't matter. Let's not think about the small things, the patriotism, the divisions, political divisions. Let's think about the giants that we are, sons and daughters of Bolivar. Let's think in big, which is defending our history. Imagine Bolivar crossing plains and mountains to liberate Venezuela and the great homeland. He reached the highlands of Peru to free Peru, Ecuador, with the creation of Bolivia. What was that thing that Bolívar didn't do for reaching this liberation? The call is to unite all Venezuelans in an enlistment process. And what does this mean? That all of us need to know for this National Economy Council to produce. And we need to be ready to produce in the face of any aggression that comes against Venezuela. And we have proof that we can do this. We have proof that we have what we need to do this. The private, the public sectors, our hearts and conscience in a union ready to fight for Venezuela. And that is why I'm very thankful, because when you participated in your condition of Venezuelans that have an extraordinary responsibility to guarantee the essential needs of our people, food, medicine, services, the essential for our people, for the national life. And today I say to you as well, and I ratify to you that the call, that the invitation is to keep working together, marching together in a national union to defend the most sacred that can have anyone, which is our homeland. No one gave that to us. Look at that sword of a liberator, Simon Bolivar, women and men as well. How does that sword sound to errors what we have today? A territory with the defense of the Essequibo, with the defense of our energy resources. We have a history, clean, huge, heroic, epic, of what means struggle and battle for peace, and no one gave that to us for free. That sword was until the confines of the universe to know our greatest man, Simon Bolivar, and the call is to never betray what means the life of our liberators, women and men. So, I'm very thankful. And I ratify to you the gratitude of President Nicolás Maduro to keep working together in this national union for the prosperity, prosperity of our people. But thank you very much. We're listening to Executive Vice President Delcy Rodriguez at the National Council of Productive Economy. All of the sectors are growing.